Hi everyone, welcome to my live creative time today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you for joining me. And as I jumped on, I just realized my camera wasn't straight. So we'll just tweak that a little bit. No, it's still, no, that's a bit better, I think. Thank you so much for joining me today, whether or not you are joining live or watching the replay here on Facebook or over on YouTube. Thank you so much. It's great to have you join us. Feel free to leave me comments, give me thumbs up, hearts if you love what you see. And if you are watching over on my YouTube channel, or even if you're watching here on Facebook and you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love for you to subscribe. If you click on the subscribe button down below the video over on YouTube, you'll see it there down on the right hand corner, and there's a little bell icon there too. If you click on that little bell, then you can choose how to be notified when I upload new videos. All right, well, while everyone is jumping on and finding their notifications that I've gone live, I'll bring this up on my other devices. So here we go. I will mute that one. We'll bring that up over here. Okay, great. And I'll just plug in my iPad as well. I was having all sorts of technical issues this morning. So we got a new router yesterday. Our old router was starting to smell a little bit like burning plastic. So it was heating up quite a bit and the plastic was starting to discolor a little bit on it. So it was a white one. And so I said to my husband, oh, I think we need to get a new router. But so last weekend he went and bought one. Turned out that it wasn't compatible with the NBN and our phones and blah, blah, blah. So he had to return that. No, that was the weekend before last. That's right. Then last weekend he had to return it. And then he got in contact with our carrier, and then they sent us a new one. So anyway, he set that up yesterday. But then this morning I was on a Zoom call and I was having all sorts of problems and it kept freezing and carrying on. Anyway, I rang him then to say, this new router, it's not working. No, I didn't say it like that. But I said, oh, I've got to go live this afternoon. So what can I do? And he suggested I reboot it. So I've rebooted the router. Hopefully we'll be all good. I've been testing my Facebook and since then I've been able to watch videos and things like that. So I'm hoping that it will cooperate with us and we'll be all good. So fingers crossed. Have a backup plan just in case it doesn't. Hi Rose, how are you? Great to have you here today. And Glenda's here too. Hi Glenda, great to have you here as well. Thank you for joining me, ladies. How are you both? How was your weekend? Have you been doing any crafting? What have you been up to? So yesterday, you might have seen, I actually did a little post. I did a little bit of baking yesterday and made some very yummy apple cinnamon crumble muffins. So they were really, really yummy. They're gluten-free, of course, because I'm gluten-free. My tummy doesn't like gluten these days. So yeah, and they're so yummy. So I've frozen some because it's a big batch and I thought I'm not going to get through all of these before they go off. So I froze some and then the rest I've popped in the fridge to keep them nice. So yeah, hi Dimity, how are you? Great to have you here. Glenda said, I'll be rebooting the router too, but all around the room. Yeah, I felt like it. I felt like booting it all around the room, let me tell you. I said to my husband, this isn't 3G, it's not working, it's not going to be strong enough. But yeah, anyway, we'll see how we go today. My backup actually was going to be to plug back in the old router. So that's the backup plan that he gave me. But I thought, oh, that's extra. And the yellow cable goes in the blue slot and the blue cable goes in the yellow slot. I'm like, but then there's so many yellow slots. I'm like, well, which one? Anyway, I thought, oh, let's hope we don't get to that. Yes, fingers crossed, Glenda. So, yeah, so we've got a few things to share today. Well, I have a few things to share with you today. So let me share those with you. Oh, I really should have cleaned my desk before I went live. Hey, who is excited for the new catalogue? I am so excited. I've actually put it on the bottom of the pile because I was going to share it last, but I'm going to share it right now. There's the beautiful new catalogue coming out. This is the 2023 to 2024 annual catalogue, and it's going to be around for quite a while. There's lots and lots of pages in here. I can't show you the inside yet until it goes live on the 2nd of May, but I can show you the front cover. I'm hoping to get to my stationery store this week to get my copy bound, because I always like to get a binding done on it and plastic cover on the front and back to protect it. And then this becomes my working copy that I use all year, and it's much easier for me when it's got the binding. But anyway, if you don't already have one of these catalogues, and you are, well, a lot of us demonstrators have them, but our customers are just starting to receive theirs now. So if you are a customer of mine and you have shopped with me in the last 12 months, I have sent one to you already. So they should be arriving very, very soon. They're coming direct from Stampin' Up, so I've ordered them through Stampin' Up for you. If not, and you don't have a demonstrator and you would like one of these, then please let me know and I would love to get one out to you. In fact, I have got a link. Now, all my links will be in the description of this video, both here on Facebook and over on YouTube. But for anyone who might want to jump on that straight away before they forget and request a catalogue, I will put up the link right now for you in the comments. So here we go. Let me just copy that over and I'll pop that down there in the link, in the comments. There you go. Fantastic. So yes, it's very, very exciting that this new catalogue is coming, and we've got a colour refresh as well. So some of the old colours are retiring. We've got new colours coming in and some returning colours as well, which is awesome. And last night I spent, oh, I don't even know how many hours, but I was up till the wee hours of the morning putting all the labels on my ink pads. And you might have seen I created a quick reel of how to apply your labels, your name labels to your ink pads. And I was sitting here putting all the labels on, and I thought I could do a quick reel doing this while I'm doing them. And it took me 3 ink pads of putting the labels on before I was happy with it, before I uploaded one. So the one you see on my social media, which I posted last night, was not the first one I filmed. There were 2 others before it, but the quality of them just wasn't great. So you got the better one. Yeah, I thought that would be something helpful, because, you know, we get all these new ink pads and you see all these stickers and you think, oh, where does that go? How do I apply these? And it's actually quite simple when you're shown how. So I hope that that helped somebody or many people. And yeah, so just organizing all of my colors. I've put, let me go this way. I've put all of my new cardstock in. I realized this morning that I hadn't pulled out the shimmery white though. That's still on my shelf. I've got to pull that out. But I've put all the new colors there. Still not 100% sure if I'm happy with the color order. I might still do some changing around of that. Same with the inks, but I haven't put all my blends in my blends holders yet, because I need more and I need to order some more to fit them all in. And rearranging those is a pain because there's so many of them. So I thought I'll get my ink pads and my cardstock done first, and then when I'm happy with how I've got the colors, because I like organizing them in rainbow order, then once I'm happy with those, then I'll go ahead and I'll rearrange all of my Stampin' blends. So I actually have a crate. Where's my crate? Here's my crate. I've got a little crate here full of Stampin' blends, and whoa, there goes one. Let me put my hand on there. These are all the new ones, including the new in colors, and then I've got some of the new ink refills in there as well, because I need to redo my ink refill storage with the new colors. So I did do my in color one last night, but all of the other ones, yeah, my daughter's going to help me with those, so that'll be good. It's so handy having a graphic designer daughter. It really is. I did make some little swatches last night though. So I have these ones which, as demonstrators, we were able to order with the last annual catalogue, and I've taken out the ones that are retiring. And then I made, for the moment, I'm keeping these separate because I want to keep referring to them. So I've got my in color ones and I've just attached them with a little ribbon, but eventually they will go on the main ring with all the other ones. Just trying to separate these so I can show you. So this is what I was doing last night on my day off. But I did do some other things on my day off that weren't Stampin' Up related, such as baking muffins. Here we go. There we go. So there's the new colors. So I made these little swatches and I just made, so these, if you want to make these up for yourself with the new colors, this is a great idea. They're just little 3 by 3 inch squares of design of cardstock. And then I just use my little Dymo label maker to just put a little label on there with the different colors. So I know which color is which. And so then I went ahead, I was just going to do my in colors last night and I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep going. And then Amber came back into the craft room because she had, you know, taken the day off as well. And then she came back into the craft room and saw what I was doing, and then she jumped in and started to help me. So then we got all of them done. So we have all of the other new colors as well. And I've done the same thing with making the little labels. And then I've got my little color swatches. So it's really handy to have those. So that's just another little idea for you. They're just, you can make them this size, you can make them smaller. My customers will be getting something special from me very soon to do with all of the new colors. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, if you're not a customer of mine, or you're a demonstrator, that's an idea that you can do to have a little color swatch, and then they'll eventually go on the ring. And I'll have them all together, all the beautiful colors together. But just for the moment, while they're all still new and I'm still learning them, I thought I'll keep them separate. Yeah, and so that's what I was working on last night. So although I didn't create anything, I kind of was getting all my colors all sorted. All right, let me catch up on some of these comments. Hi, Anne, how are you? Lovely to have you with us. Rose said she's been marking the new catalogue with Post-it notes. Oh, awesome. That's so exciting when you get to do that and start labeling and starting your wish list. Yeah, I can't wait to do that with mine too, but I want to go and get mine bound first at the stationers, and then I'll add all of my labels, and then I'll start all my wish list tabs as well with my sticky notes. I bought new sticky notes just recently for that reason. So hopefully I can get that done. I was going to go last week, but then a couple of days I was going to go, it started to rain. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to go out in the rain to do that. So I put it off. Yeah, that rainy weather just sort of makes you not really want to do much, doesn't it? Hey, Brenton, how you going? Great to have you here. That's twice I've seen you in one day. There you go. Brenton was in my Zoom meeting this morning as well. It wasn't my Zoom meeting, it was one I was participating in, and Brenton was there too. And I was the one with the dodgy internet, but hopefully we've got things sorted out now, Brenton. So hopefully people can hear me this time. This morning I was sharing in the Zoom meeting, and early this afternoon, I should say. And I was sharing, and they couldn't hear half of what I was saying because my internet kept breaking up. It was very annoying. So, oh, Glenda said her pre-order should be here tomorrow. Very exciting. So for those of you who are not Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, as demonstrators, we get to pre-order products from the new catalogs earlier than everybody else. It's one of the perks of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Not only that, but all of these, the pre-order products, so for the annual catalogue, the pre-order products is a selection that Stampin' Up! Lets us know we can order from, because of course there's so many products in here. They don't give us all of them to pre-order, but we've got a very good selection, and any of those products you can actually put in your starter kit when you join. So if anyone is interested in joining at the moment, I would love to have you join my team if you're here in Australia and you don't already have a demonstrator that you're working with, or yeah, if you don't have any contacts, I would love to have you join my team. Then those new pre-order products you can put in your starter kit right now. You can choose up to $235 worth of product and you only pay $169 and you get free shipping on that as well. And then you get an ongoing 20 to 25% discount on all of your Stampin' Up! Products. And when you see this catalog, you'll want that discount because you'll be wanting to get more products for your money. It's the best deal in the catalog is the joining offer. So yeah, if you would like more information, please feel free to get in contact with me about that. And I can answer any of your questions. And of course, my joining link will be in the description of the video as well. All right. Oh, Dimity said her little order came today. How exciting. Or you'll have to pop a picture up in the team group, Dimity, of what you got in your pre-order. That's very exciting. Hi, Martha. How are you? Great to have you here. Oh, Rose said she liked my little label video that I made, my reel that I made last night. Oh, that's good, Rose. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked that. And hopefully you found it helpful too. Fantastic. There was something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was, but it might come back to me in a moment. Oh, Glenda said, how much are the swatches to buy? The demonstrator ones at the moment, they're not on the supply list at the moment. I think because of the new colors. I'm hoping they're going to put another one on there for demonstrators. That would be awesome if they did. I think when I purchased this, it was about somewhere between $10 and $15. It wasn't very much. And it was the whole color collection that was in those swatches. But yeah, they're not available at the moment. They've taken them back down, obviously because they were had all the old colors in there too. So I've had it for a little while. Hey Vicky, how are you? Oh, you like the idea of the swatches too. Yeah, it's a really great idea because then you've got all of the colors. Whoops. You've got all the colors, but also too, it helps with matching the colors as well. So you can take them off the rings if you want to, and then you can, you know, have a little play with them and see what color goes with what. Do some color combos. It's really, really helpful. So, yeah. All right. Oh, Brenton said, fingers crossed. Yes, that I got my internet sorted. I had to reboot the router, the new router that just got set up yesterday, I might add. Hopefully it's not going to be an ongoing issue. Hey Jenny, how you going? Great to have you here. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back in the comments to just see if there's anything else I missed. Some of the stickers on the ink pads are hard to see. Yes, I agree. I think the new the lemon lime twist one is hard to see. It's hard to read the label, but also when you put the sticker on, because the sticker is, the words are actually clear, so you see the white through them, it's actually really hard to see. So yeah, I was hoping that this one would be written in black, but then I guess it wouldn't match all the other ones, but that's okay. Then I've got a couple of ink pads that have got very old faded labels. So I took to it with a fine tip Sharpie and just wrote it on there myself. So that's another idea you can do too. It doesn't look as pretty as the nice labels, but you could, an idea my daughter had last night was you could actually print the labels like on your Dymo label or something like that and just trim them down. If you like, you know, if you want that look, and you can just trim down the thickness of them or the, like the, you know, the height of them so that they fit on the front of the labels. So I might even do that. I might even give that a go on this one with the one that I hand wrote. So yeah, I just didn't get a chance to do that. She just suggested that last night. I thought, oh yeah, that's a good idea because it's such a skinny little section there. Yeah. Now, Jenny, did I say hi to you? Hi, Jenny, in case I forgot to say hi to you. I can't remember if I said hi to you, but it's lovely to have you here. Who else did I miss? Maybe the writing should be in black. Yeah, I think so too on some of those lighter colors because it's really hard to read. And especially if you've already got like bad eyes. I don't read so well without my glasses these days. You know, you kind of get to that age and your eyes get a little bit tired. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Great to see you. Oh, you'd like the color swatches too. Yeah. Well, hopefully Stampin' Up! Are going to bring them back for demonstrators. They had them in the supply list for demonstrators, but they're currently not available because these ones had all the old colors. I'm hoping they're going to revamp them for the new catalog with all the new colors, but it might take a little bit of time, I suppose, for them to put that together. But yeah, you can even just cut your own. They're just little 3 by 3 inch squares, and just put a little hole with a single hole punch in the top corner. Add a little, this is just a curtain ring. It's like a little curtain ring that I had in my craft stash. It's my last one actually. Oh no, sorry, this one, this metal one, that one actually came with these when I bought them. But I've got another one. I used to always have plastic ones in my craft stash. And this was my last plastic one that I had. And so these were the retiring colors. I pulled them out and put them on that one because they're the retiring ones. Yeah, but I should buy some more of those to keep in my stash. So yeah. The color swatches would be great for customers too. I agree, Amber. Yeah, I hope that they actually would bring them out and put them in the online store, so that even if they put them in the online exclusives. So actually, you know what? I should put that in the suggestion box because it would be very helpful for customers, because there's so many colors and seeing them in the catalog is different to seeing them in real life. Like, they can look a little bit different. So yeah, I think it's a really great tool. So I'm going to write that down, because as demonstrators we have a suggestion box that we can put suggestions in. So I'm going to put that down, and I will do that for you all. I will put that in the suggestion box today for you all, and hopefully, and those of you who are demonstrators, if you do that as well, go to the suggestion box on the demonstrator website and put in there that we want color swatches available for us and for customers too. And because, you know, if enough people ask for it, then Stampin' Up! Usually comes to the party and listens to our requests. So yeah. Dimity said she had cut her own last year. Yep. And she'll add the new colors this year. Awesome. That's really great. Good, good, good. Yes, Deborah would like the color swatches. Yes. Yeah, Vicky likes the color swatches as well. Yeah, they're very, very handy. Yes, Amber said, also a great time to join with the last chance sale. Yes, I am getting to that in a roundabout way. I'm so excited talking about all the new colors. We should move on. Let's just see. I'll just double check. Oh, hey, Sam. How you going? Great to have you here today. Yeah, Deborah said the swatches are a good tool to have for color decisions. Yeah, they are. And you can even take them off the ring and do some color combos and, you know, choose which colors you like. So anyway, so that's just a little bit about the annual catalog. Now, of course, we've got the new catalog coming. So that means all the, a lot of the older products, or the, you know, some of the ones we've had around for a little while are retiring. And we have got a sale at the moment. We've got the last chance product sales, and on sale up to 60% off some of those items, some of which we're going to be playing with today that are discounted, are from the 2022 to 2023 annual catalog. So that was this one. This is what it looks like when I get it bound and then add all of my sticky tabs. This one is retiring, and also the January to April 2023 mini catalogue is retiring. So they're both retiring on the 1st of May. I think this might be the first time we've had two catalogues retire at the same time. So there are lots of products on that last chance sale. Lots of them are discounted. There's now, some of those have sold out already, but there's still lots of products there available. The best way to find out, we do have lists, and I have got the lists you'll actually find in my links when I put my links up. However, some of those products have already gone. So the best way to find out what is still available is to go to the online store and to have a look there and see what is still available. because there's just too many that have gone now for me to give you the full list. But a lot of I think all of the ink refills for the retiring colors, they've all gone. Some of the ink pads have gone. There's some still available. And then there's a lot of other products as well. Cardstock, some of the cardstock's gone of the retiring colors. Some is still available. So if there's any of those colors that you love, then make sure you grab those while they're still available. Hey, Julie, how you going? Now, if you were, so last Thursday, I did my very first YouTube live. It was a little bit bumpy at first, but once we got going at about 26 minutes, I mean, I did give a little bit of news and things at the beginning, but there was a lot of adjustments and things like that because filming a YouTube live is different to filming a Facebook live. And I've been doing Facebook lives for years, so I'm quite comfortable doing them. And even though Facebook keeps changing things, we usually work it out eventually. But YouTube is a little bit different. So anyway, we had a go, and I'm planning to keep doing my Thursday lives, live creative times over on YouTube, and I'll just keep the Mondays here on Facebook, just to change it up a little bit as well. So the card that I made last Thursday was this one here. So yes, I did eventually get a card made, and we got things all sorted out with the technology. So this is the one that I made with the Share a Milkshake bundle, but I actually have a class coming up using this bundle. Now this isn't one of the cards from the class, and you might have seen me post this one up on my social media over the weekend. This isn't one from the class. This is an additional project that I designed. So if you are doing my class, that's a additional project, a 6th project, because we've got 5 projects in the class. So here's my little flyer for the class. Now the registrations close tomorrow, Tuesday the 18th of April. So if you are here in Australia, I have an option for you, including product. If you are a demonstrator or you're from overseas, I also have an option for you, which is the PDF tutorial only. So there's 2 options there for the class for you. We have 5 beautiful projects in this class, including some 3D items and fun fold cards. Sorry, went blank for a moment. And then of course, so that's 5. And then of course I did the video, and it's on my blog as well, of this project as well, which is a 6th project. If you are purchasing that class, then that'll give you an additional project. So let me pop up the link for that one in the description, in the comments, and it will be in the description as well. But you've only got until tomorrow, Tuesday the 18th of April 2023. Now the other thing is if you are purchasing the full class with the product, I only have limited supplies of the paper. So I've only got limited number of kits. So if you want to do this class, you need to register quickly, because otherwise I'm going to have to turn it off. So yeah, if I get too many, I won't have enough paper. So because this paper is retiring, and I've got that paper here, so I can't order any more of that. But I have got some still here, which I'm using for the class. So I've got it set aside, but yeah, just don't wait. If you want to register for the class, don't wait. So I'd be really sad if I had to contact you and say, I'm so sorry, I've run out. So class registrations is what I'm looking for. Here we go. Milkshake Daydream class. I'll copy that into the comments. Here we go. There we go. So that is the class registration form. I just had a little panic then. I thought I'd copied the wrong link. It's okay. It's the right link. All good. All right. Okay. So there we go. Does anyone have any questions about any of that? Oh, Sam says, I can't afford your class this time. Oh, that's okay, Sam. No worries. I hope that you've enjoyed the other classes. If you've had a chance to do those yet, hopefully you have. That's okay. No worries. It's all good. It's all good. There'll be many more classes. Don't worry, Sam. There's going to be, every month I do a new class. So if you miss out on this one, it's okay. There'll be more classes every month, so there'll always be something new. All right, so how about we get started in our crafting, because I'm going to kick off. I've actually got my slippers on today. It's been really cold, but I'm heating up now because I'm talking, as you do. And I'm going to show you what we are going to be playing with today. So let me cover up the camera. Oh, Sam says, I still haven't started the other class yet because, oh, you've been sick with the flu. Oh, no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, I hope you're starting to feel a bit better. That's okay. You've got all the class, you've got the class content. It's all there ready waiting for you when you're feeling up to it. So that's a good thing about online classes. You don't have to do them straight away. You can do them at your own leisure. And that's why I love offering online classes, because not only can you do them when you like in your own time, I can offer them to anyone all around Australia and all around the world as well. So yeah, so that's a good thing about online. All right, I'm going to cover up the camera and flip the camera down onto the desk so we can get crafting. So here we go. Alrighty, and this process on Facebook is so much easier than on YouTube, but probably because I'm so much more used to doing it this way than, oh, actually I've got my stand a little bit different today because my adjustment was different for YouTube. So we'll see how this looks today. All right. Oh, that's not too bad actually. I'll just straighten up the camera and adjust the lights. Are we still crooked? We are. All right, we'll get that nice and straight for you. That's better. There we go. All right, all good. Now, I might be a little bit close today. I might have to just put my stand up a little bit. We'll see. Let me move my keyboard out of the way and my mouse. Put these down here. All right, so today is the 17th of April, 2023, and this is my April host code. Oops, still can't see. Sorry, I've got the camera in a different orientation, so I normally have these up a bit higher, but I've got to bring them down a bit today. So this is my April 2023 host code. So if you're shopping with me, be sure to use my host code, and for orders over $75, you will receive a thank you gift from me. So you can find my online store at mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com and then click on the shop button. Over there on my blog as well, you'll find lots of creative inspiration. There's lots of blog posts there. You'll also find a link to my newsletter. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my newsletter and you'd like to do that to stay up to date with all the latest Stampin' Up! News and my classes, I give creative inspiration each week. Last week I actually included a tutorial, which I do from time to time as well. So yeah, be sure to sign up for my newsletter over there as well so I can keep you updated. And then you'll find other stuff on there as well. I've got tutorials for sale on there and all different sorts of things. So all good. All right. Oh, Dimity said she's just out of the pool. Must be hot up there, Dimity, is it? Hot up there in Darwin? Making my colour swatches now. Ah, so fantastic. That's awesome. All right, so today I thought we would use some of the beautiful products that are retiring and give them one last hurrah. Probably from next week, I'll start using some of the new products. So I can start showing you some of those beautiful, beautiful new products, which, in case you missed it, last week I did a live unboxing. So if you missed my video last week, be sure to go back and check and have a look at that, because I showed the new products that I got in my pre-order. So there were some really beautiful products. I can't wait to start playing with them. But anyway, today we're using Nature's Harvest. This has been one of my favorites. Really, really beautiful set. Now, the stamp set and the dies are both discounted, but if you purchase them as a bundle, the bundle isn't further discounted. So if you do love these and you want to get them, be sure to order them as separate items because you'll save yourself a lot more money. So I quickly scratched it down on a sticky note. I'll show you there in case you want to take a screenshot. But the stamp set, the Nature's Harvest stamp set, is discounted by 60% off, and there's the code for it there. It's now only $14.80, and you'll find it on page 68 of the catalogue. That's the 2022 to 2023 annual catalogue. The Coordinating Harvest dies, they are also 60% off, and they are now only $26.80. which is an amazing price for a set of dies. Okay, so that's what we're using today. Now also too, we are going to be using my, oh, I'm very sad about this one, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll fall in love with some of the new ones. It'll be all good. But the stitched rectangle dies, I'm hanging on to these because I love them so much. These ones are also discounted. But they're only discounted by 10%. So these ones are now $54.90. So if you have looked at these lots and lots of times and always thought, oh, I really would like those and never got them, today, right now is the time because they are discounted in the last chance sales. So they're going to be retiring very soon too. So I'm a bit sad about that one. The other retiring product that we're using today is the Pretty Prince Designer Series paper, and I've pulled out, whoa, there's the sticky note for that one. So this one is beautiful, and I'm choosing to use the Calypso Coral today. I went blank. Calypso Coral, I think, is in a color that, it's not really a color that I work with a lot. So I thought, well, I'll give it a little whirl today. I really was drawn to this one though. I love this one. But I thought, you know what, go out of my comfort zone and use a color that I don't usually use because I love the deep colors. I love the earthy tones. But this paper is just gorgeous. And this is also on special. So if you don't have this one yet and you love it, then you could grab this now too before it goes because it's retiring very soon as well. This one's beautiful as well. I love this color. That's in the Evening Evergreen. The Evening Evergreen is retiring. So as you can see, I have used some, but I haven't used, this was actually part of one of my paper shares. This was what was left from one of the shares. But you can see I haven't really used, look at this. Isn't that stunning? I haven't used much of this at all really, which I don't know why, because it's such beautiful paper. It's not that I didn't like it. I do, I love it. But there were just so many other things, I think, and I just put it on the shelf and forgot about it. So I thought, well, I'm going to use it now before it all retires. Look at all that. How beautiful all that is. So there you go. So it's 30% off, now only $14.70 for the pack. So there's the code for that one. 159245, and it's 30% off, so it's a really great price. So there we go. Oops. All right, so yeah, so I'm going to use this piece, so we'll leave that one out. I'll pop all of this back in the packet. Okie dokie. So I've got, I'm actually casing a project today, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. It's a project by, oh gosh, let me remember now. Let me see if I've still got it up. It was a project by Stamping with Christy. I found this on stampingwithchristy.com. I found that on Facebook. Oh, no. Sorry, on Pinterest. I'm not sure of Christy's last name, but her business is stampingwithchristy.com. So you can look her up if you would like to. She did it in greens using soft succulent, I think it might have been, and white, but I'm going to change it up, and I'm using different embossing folders, different paper, different colors. So yeah, thank you, Christy, for the inspiration. But yeah, I'm going to change it up a little bit today. So I don't have any of the measurements or anything. So we're going to wing that side of it. But, you know, that's not too difficult. So we'll work that out as we go. So I've got my Calypso Coral and my Designer Series paper. Now, the thing I was just thinking about today was, do I go with vanilla? No, I think I'm going to need to go with white, actually, because there's white detail in this paper. I pulled both out because I wasn't sure. Yeah, no, it goes better with the white. Okay, we'll use white. All right. So that was the first big decision, and I just made that by myself. Alrighty. So let's create a card base. I have already got a piece. You know what? I'll do it from scratch for those of you who may not... maybe somebody is new to card making and hasn't seen how to make a card base, or, you know, get a little bit confused with measurements. That can happen. Oh, Julie says she loves the stitch rectangles too and will keep using that. Keep them and you keep using them. Yeah. Yeah, they are a great die set. They've been one of my favorites over the last couple of years and I've used them a lot. Yeah. All right. And Sam says she loves this DSP. And you've got a lot of it. Oh, fantastic. Very good. All right. So when we're cutting our card bases, this is a full size of A4 cardstock. So here in Australia, we use A4. If you're watching from overseas, you know what? I'm just going to zoom that camera up a little bit. I think we're a little bit close. Just take it up a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the desk. That just made a little bit of a difference. That's good. Yeah, so, but if you are in America, for instance, and you're using letter size cardstock, you would do the same sort of thing. You just basically are going to cut it in half. Okay, so here in Australia, we are, if you want exactly half, it's actually 14.85 centimeters. Now, I know some people cut it at 14.8 or 14.9. You can do that. It just means that one card base will be slightly bigger than the other. I always do mine exactly at the middle, which is 14.85. So just going in between the 14.8 and the 14.9 mark. Okay, so just going in the middle there and cut that in half. And then now we've got two card base sizes. So I'll take one of those. We'll rotate it long ways. I'm going to move the cutting blade out of the way. And now I'm going to score that in the middle at 10.5. Okay, there we go. And then you just simply fold that in half. And then you're going to burnish that on the fold line. All right, so that's the first step. So I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to burnish along the fold line there. And that'll help that to sit down and give a nice crisp fold. Okay, so that's the first step. That's nice and easy. Now the next step is to cut our Designer Series paper. Now usually I use a standard measurement each time when I do this, which I will still do today. And I think I'm going to have, I think I'll just have a 2mm border. So if I want a 2mm border, I'm going to cut this piece at 10.1 centimeters across the top, and you'll see on this paper it's got an ombre effect, so it's deeper, the color is deeper over on this side, and then it goes lighter up here, so it sort of goes, the ombre effect sort of goes up at a diagonal. And I'm just having a look to see which way. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use the lighter side over here. So I'm going to cut this at 10.1 centimeters. There we go. And then I'm going to rotate that and cut that at 14.45. And that'll give me an even 2mm border. Now this little piece that I cut off the bottom, you can save that and use that to decorate the inside if you'd like to. Okay, so don't throw away your little scraps, use them. There we go. So now we've got that beautiful detail there, and this pattern goes in every which way. So the paper isn't really directional. You could use it either way. So you choose which way I actually think I like it up better that way. I think I like the lighter colour at the bottom and the deeper colour at the top. Yeah, either way, it doesn't really matter. All right, so then that's going to be our layer on our white. Okay, next we want to have a strip down the center, and that's going to be our solid cardstock strip. So I've got a piece here of Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to cut that in half like I did before at 14.85. I'll keep one piece as a card base, and then this piece I'm actually going to cut in half. So I have got 2 card front pieces, okay? So that would be, if I was going to use that as a full card front, I could cut it down to the size like I did with the DSP, or you can cut it down to any size, but if I want a full card front, that would be a full card front size, okay? So I call these my working pieces because that's kind of the size that I start with. And then, oh, Deborah just said visual balance is lightest at the top and darkest at the bottom. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's how I had it sitting anyway, actually. So thanks for that, Deborah. That's cool. All right, and then we're going to cut a strip. So we want the same length as this piece, but we just want a panel in the middle there, and I haven't measured what size that would be. So let's grab our ruler, and I will just wing this and work it out. I reckon, let's see, so what is that all the way across? That's 10.1 across, and if I went about, let's see, 6, I think about 6 centimeters. I'll start it at 6. I can always cut it down a little bit less if I want to. So we'll try it at 6. Okay, so that's our 6, and we needed it at 14.45, so it was the same length. Yep, so it's going to be the same length as the DSP. So let's have a look at that now. How's that going to look? Oh yeah, good. And then we're going to emboss that piece. Yeah, that'll be good. Good. Okay, so that was 6 centimeters across, and the length was 14.45. Okay, so that's what we need for that. Then we need another piece of white for a sentiment label, which we're going to use the stitch rectangles for. So I'm going to cut another piece of this in half, as I did before. So this one I'm going to cut at 10.5, which gives me 2 card front pieces. But then this one I'm going to die cut a label from. Okay, so we'll keep that one aside. And the other piece I will use for my stamping. Okay, so we'll use one for the stamping and one for the card front. All right, so that's all the pieces. So we're just using the 2 colors, white and Calypso Coral, and then we've got our DSP as well. Okay, normally I don't show you all of these steps. I've usually got the pieces, well, most often, sometimes not, but most often times I have the pieces already pre-cut. But I wasn't that organized today because I had a meeting this morning and I stayed up late last night doing all my colors. So yeah, just busy, busy, busy. Oh, you got to go, Sam. No worries. Yep, watch the replay later. All good. Thank you. Fantastic. Alrighty. Okay, so we'll do some embossing with this. Now, for the embossing, I'm actually using some new product. I'm not using retiring product for the embossing. I could have, but I decided to use the new Basics 3D embossing folders from the online exclusives because I really love the detail in these ones. So I thought that I would probably use, not that one, I think that one will be too busy. I'm going to use the crosshatch one. This one is my favorite one of the three. I love all of them, but I think the other two, they're not the right, they're just not the right style for what I'm going for. So now I've got my large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine today. So I'm going to just pop this in to the folder. So this is our Calypso Coral. And I'm going to run that through the embossing folder. I'll bring the embossing folder, the embossing machine. I'll bring that over so I can show you. So I've got the big machine today because we've got a larger embossing folder. And I'll just take all of these plates off. And where did I put, there it is. Got my embossing plate. So because these ones are 3D embossing folders, we need to follow the instructions on the base here. So we just use the base plate, the white base plate, and then we put our folder in with our cardstock inside of it, and then we use the grey embossing plate. Okay, so that's plate number 1, then our folder, and then plate number 4. Okay, and then, whoops, line those up. I need to stand up for this. Here we go. There we go. It's tight, but it shouldn't be too tight that you have to force it through. Okay, if you have to force it through, then you might have the wrong plates and platforms. So be sure to check that. Okay, and then we've got that beautiful crosshatch detail on there, which I love. I think that's gorgeous. Alrighty, let's put that away. Okay, now while we are here with our machine, we might die cut that label. Just bring back in my other plates, and actually let me move this out of the way for a minute. So I've just got to work out which label size I need first before I do that. And I know we haven't done any stamping yet, but we will get to the stamping, so stick with me. Okay, now let's see. We want a label that's going to go across, and I'm using different dies to the original project as well. So we want a label that's going to go across here, like this. So I'm thinking maybe that one might be a little bit too big. Oh, it might be all right. Either that one or this one. Because then we're going to have the flowers going up on that. So the kind of, it's going to be sort of like a, I think I'll use the bigger one actually. It's going to be like a label, but it's also going to break up these colors from our flowers so that our flowers will still stand out. So I think we'll use this one. All right. So this is the fourth smallest die. Okay. So we'll do that. Now, before I do that, I'm just going to cut this cardstock down a little bit smaller because I don't want to run this whole piece through. I don't want to waste this extra piece here if it gets dinted from my plates, because my plates are quite cut up because I use them all the time. And so if you run like a larger piece through, all those cut up bits on your plates can actually mark your cardstock. So I only want to cut it to the size that I need it. So that will be perfect, like that. Okay. Then we'll bring in the machine. So you're seeing all of my processes today. Often I have a lot of this already done. Oh, not always. Sometimes I do some of these steps on line, but I don't usually always cut the cardstock and things like that. But I think it's good sometimes to show those things too, because we might have new crafters or crafters that perhaps might be casual crafters that, you know, are not quite sure about how to do certain aspects of their card making. And I think it's just, you know, good to show those things. All right. So we'll take that through. Now you'll notice that I put my die on an angle, and that is because it has a straight edge. So anytime you have a straight edge die, it's a good idea to put it on an angle to go through your machine, because it will make it much easier for the rollers to grab a hold. And then you won't get that big speed bump as you're going through the machine, that big sort of clunking sound. There we go. All right, so we'll get rid of that extra bit. And, okay, so this one, because it's a stitched die, the stitching likes to bite into the cardstock sometimes. So if you just get it started on the edge and then just gradually work that around, or sometimes what I like to do is grab my bone folder, if you've got a bone folder, and just run that along under there, and that releases it really easily. There we go. All right. So that is our label panel there. That's going to go across like that. Okay, so it's going to kind of be like that. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll do our stamping. So I'm going to stamp these big, beautiful flowers. Oh, look, I've got one already stamped. We could probably use that. Let's use that one that I've already got stamped. Well, actually, I'll stamp one to show you, and then we can use that one too. Actually, I wonder what that would be like to have a little one with it. I might stamp that one as well, and we'll just see. We shall see. We can stamp both, and then we can choose, can't we? All right, so for this one, no, I think I'm going to need my bigger block. I don't think that one will fit on, no, definitely won't fit on that one. Let's see. No, it's not going to fit on that one either. Okay, I need to grab my bigger block for that one. So I have to grab that out of my, oh, I've got one here on the shelf, hiding down the bottom. I'll just have to reach, excuse me for reaching. There we go. This is an E block. Ah, that's better. Yeah, that will fit on there. Okay, so that's my E block. And then for the small one, I'm just going to put that onto my D block. Actually, let's go long ways. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to stamp this in Memento. If you were doing watercoloring, which I was considering doing watercoloring, if you're doing watercoloring, you'd want to use your Stays-On black ink. But if you're using Stampin' Blends to color, which I decided to do for today, you want to use Memento. All right. Now let's see, is that going to fit on there? Yes, it is. That'll fit on that extra little piece that we cut. Okay, now the stamp is bigger than the block. Sorry, the stamp is bigger than the ink pad. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the ink pad to the stamp. And when using Memento, I like to rub it all over the stamp and then tap. And that gives you a nice even coverage. And we're using a red rubber cling stamp. Okay, so that's got the foam built into it. So you've got that nice cushioning when you stamp. There we go. Beautiful. All right, and then we might just stamp the little one as well. So I'll just use this extra piece that I had. Actually, do I have any scraps there? I probably have some scraps. Rather than use this piece, I'll grab a scrap. There we go. All right, so rub, rub, rub. Tap, tap, tap. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one yet, but I just thought I would stamp it as well in case I decide to. Oh, didn't stamp that very well. Let me do that again. Didn't have even pressure. Sometimes if you don't have even pressure or an even coverage of ink, you'll get, there, that's better. You'll get heavier areas. See how I've got some heavier areas here showing on this one? Because I didn't have even pressure when I was stamping my image. So it's very important to have even pressure on your stamp. Okay. Let me just check back on the comments. Julie said, I just used that one for a card I made on the weekend. Oh, there you go. Great minds think alike, Julie. All right, so let me grab some scrap paper. Oh, actually, I'll just grab some. I do have scrap here. I'll grab some scrap paper and we'll just stamp off those stamps just to get rid of some of that excess ink before I clean it on my chamois. There we go. And then we'll just give that a clean on our chamois. There we go. All right, so that's that one. And that one. Okie dokie. They are nice and clean. My chamois is stained, but it still cleans very well because I rinse it out all the time. And you can throw them in the washing machine too, just so long as you rinse them, make sure that they rinse out well. Okay, so I'll use the one that I had stamped before. Actually, I don't even know which one was which now. I don't know which one I just picked up. It doesn't really matter. Only because the ink will be drier. So normally if you're going to use Stampin' blends, you want the ink to be dry before you start colouring. Now I will grab a piece of grid paper because we're going to be using Stampin' blends and they will bleed through that cardstock. And I've actually only stamped on ordinary, actually were they both the same? Yes, I've only stamped on ordinary white today. Normally when I'm using Stampin' blends, I use the thick basic white. But I've only got the plain today, the standard weight. All right, now colours. Oh, the embossing folder you were talking about, Julie. Ah, okay, cool. Yes, I love those embossing folders. They're beautiful, aren't they? Those new Basics 3D embossing folders. All right, now I'm going to grab some Stampin' blends and I'll try and grab colours that are still current. So we've got the Daffodil Delight, and then I think I want, oh, we might use the Calypso actually. No, that's Cajun. Cajun might be, let's see, I've got Cajun, is this Calypso? And Calypso. And I'll grab a little bit of Daffodil, no, Pumpkin Pie as well. And we'll just decide which colour for those. And then for the leaves, now the leaves are going to be, because we've got some of our greens that are retiring. What have I got? I've got Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. So we'll see. We'll decide which colour. I've actually got my swatches. Well, not swatches, actually, colour chart. So I've got my colour chart here. One of our beautiful demonstrator friends, she makes these every year, and so I always keep mine handy so that when I am, so she does all the template for it all, and then you colour each of the squares with your Stampin' blend. So I'm hoping that she's going to do a new one this year. Her name is Di Barnes. She's a beautiful demonstrator in Australia. And yes, so I can have a look at the colours here to see what I think is going to go with the Calypso Coral. So we'll check out those greens and we'll grab those out. Well, I've got one of them and then we'll see how we go. All right, so first of all, we might start with a little bit of Calypso Coral. No, that's Cajun. That's going to be too dark, I think. Let's have a look. On our chart, Cajun, oh, we might add a little bit of Cajun, we'll see. We'll start with the Calypso first and we'll use the dark, I think. I think we're going to use the dark for, oh, now my brush tip is getting a little bit, oh yeah, that's a good colour actually. My brush tip is getting a little bit shaggy, so I'll have to be very careful with that, because I've obviously used it a fair bit and I'm going to need to replace it soon, clearly. So I'm just going to put a little bit of colour around the centres of the flowers. There we go. And then I want to blend that with a little bit of daffodil. Now, I'm just having a look to see on my colour chart, the daffodil, yeah, I'll go with the light and then we might go with the dark. We'll see. Oh, this is my shaggy one too. This isn't my new one. I'll use the bullet tip. I think I do have some new, I'm actually going to go over the centres with this as well, just to change that colour a little bit. I think I'm going to need to use the dark though as well. Yes, I do have a new Daffodil Delight up on my shelf too, which I'm going to need to get out, I think, because this one's just not cutting the mustard. This one is, this one's getting a bit sad. I've used this one a lot. This is actually one that I've replaced a few times, this colour. But I'll just add a little bit of this light in here first, and then we'll come in with the dark. Now, if you've gone over, if you've used a light colour and you've gone over a dark colour, be sure to just scribble the tip off onto some scrap paper to make sure you haven't picked up any of that dark colour on your lighter colour. All right, we'll try the dark. There we go. So we'll go over that again. Oh, that's a better colour. That's actually better anyway. So those darker bits that I did up there, we'll blend those down. I might swap over to the bullet tip because we're going to down into those deeper areas that are a little bit more narrow. Now, when you're colouring with these, you don't have to colour perfectly either. It depends on the look that you're going for. These are actually a great colour. This is actually an awesome colour, this deeper Daffodil Delight. So this is the dark, the Daffodil Delight Dark. And what I might do is I'll get that Calypso. Let's bring in a little bit of light Calypso this time. Just making sure I'm picking up the right colour. And I'm just going to bring a little bit of that light Calypso down into the flower petals. And when you mix the colours like this, you get a variation of colour, and it's really, really lovely. There we go. And then I'll just blend that with a little bit of the light. Make sure that that blends down nicely. Beautiful. Good. All right. There we go. I didn't do that with the dark one, did I? I should do that to make sure I didn't pick up any of that Calypso. There we go. Beautiful. And now we've got our gorgeous flowers. Fantastic. Now the stems and the leaves. I was contemplating whether to use the old olive. Oh, or the mossy meadow. So that's the old olive light. That's the old olive dark. I do like old olive. The mossy meadow is darker. I think it'll be, I'll just reach and grab those. I think they're going to be too dark with the mossy, but let's have a little test on our scrap paper. Oops, that's the brush tip. Mossy might be all right, actually. The dark is quite dark, though. I think I like the mossy meadow. Yeah, I think we'll go with the mossy. All right, so what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of detail with the dark first. And I'm just going to use the bullet tip. I'm going to go over the veins in that leaf, or in all of the leaves. And just put a little bit down the stems. And when you're colouring with Stampin' Blends, because they are an alcohol-based marker, they dry very quickly. But when you're wanting to blend colours, you need the colour that you laid down first to still be moist when you lay down the second colour, so that they blend together nicely. I love that the cap's stuck too, so that I never lose my cap. So you have to work fairly quickly, or just work on a small section at a time. So if I'm working on a really large image, I only work on a small section of it at a time. But because this image, there's not too much to it, I just laid down a lot more colour at once this time. Now we've got dies that cut this stamped image out, so that's always great, especially when you've got stems, because they can be a little bit fiddly to fussy cut. And I know that there's quite a lot of people that don't like fussy cutting. I actually don't mind fussy cutting. As long as I have my glasses on, I'm all good to go. But I know that a lot of people don't enjoy it. There we go. And I didn't have my glasses on, and now I've got blurry vision. That's okay. It'll come good in a sec. There we go. All right. So there's our beautiful daffodil. No, not daffodils. Sunflowers? Daffodils. No. Sunflowers. No. I don't even know. Okay, what are these flowers? Oh my goodness, I've gone blank. Blankety blank blank. Now these little ones too, we might just colour them as well in the same way. We'll just do them real quick. Let's just grab out those colours again. This one, wasn't it? So we'll just put that in the middle. Put a little bit of this on each of these. These are only little ones, so they'll be quick to colour. There we go. And let's bring in the yellow. So this is the dark Daffodil Delight. So all of these colours that I'm using today are carrying over. It's just the actual product, the designer series paper and the stamps and the dies that are retiring, but I'm using current colour. So these colours will be all carrying over. So you'll be all good. Oh, look, there's a little one down here too. All right, and I'll just use the light. Oh, some of the caps are very tight on these, which is great. It's what you want. You want a tight cap on your Stampin' Blends, because otherwise the alcohol ink in them will just evaporate too quickly. There we go. Hi Sharon, how are you? Great to have you with us. Oh, you think they look like Gerber's Rose? They could be. All right, so this little one with the stems, they are very tiny, so they're very narrow. So I am just using a very, very light hand. I'm hardly touching the tip to the paper as I'm colouring. I'm almost just dabbing. There we go. I'm not going to add any dark in the stems on that one because they're just too fine. So there we go. So that one's done too. All right, so we can die cut those. And then we're going to die cut also. So I'll bring in the dies. So this is the Harvest dies. And you can see I've got a few extra little pieces in there as well. Oh, we should stamp our sentiment at the same time. No, actually, that's okay because we're... actually, I'm undecided about the sentiment. I might do that at the same time. But I'll get the dies out for this one first. So that's that one, and that's the little one. And for the sentiment, oh, just so that I'll show you with these dies. So this die set, it has the stamps for, sorry, the dies for the stamped images. And then you've got all these extra dies. So you've got some branches, you've got all these other flowers, and you've got some wheat. Looks like wheat. I'm going to cut some of that as well. And then you've got a couple of label dies as well that coordinate with some of the sentiments. But I thought that I might stamp the sentiment directly on the label. And I'm thinking of using the, probably the thank you. So we've got sending healing thoughts. May nature's beauties bring you peace to your soul. A reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. I love that one. And the thank you. I wonder if that one will fit on. Let's have a look and see. Because what we can do is we can always stamp this onto, so we can either stamp it onto here, but then are we going to see it if I lay the flowers on there? It might cover it up. So we could always stamp it onto another piece and lay it over the top. We'll come back to the sentiment. We won't, yeah, I might just keep that one out. Or I might even end up just doing the thank you. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. We'll die cut these flowers first and we'll go from there. All right, so let me pop these dies back into that packet so that they don't fall off. Some of them are getting a bit loose on their little strips there, and I don't want to lose them. So stick those back in there. Okie dokie. And for this extra piece here, I'm just wondering what colour I'll put behind that, because it's the wheat. If I'll just do that in, I'm not sure what colour we'll go with this, just with crumb cake, or shall I do it just in the same colour? I might die cut these first and then I'll make a decision about that one. So we'll bring in our big machine and we'll be able to cut these both at the same time this time, because we can do that on our big machine. All right, so I'm just going to line these up first, and I'll use my washi tape to hold the die in place because my plates are a little bit bowed and my die is a little bit bowed as well because I've used it so many times. This was a favourite, one of the favourites of mine, so I did use this bundle quite a bit. There we go. Okay, so we'll put that one on there. And then we've got this one. Let's cut away that extra cardstock there. That was the other dodgy stamping that I did. we won't use that one. We'll just use this one. Line that up and use our washi. There we go. All right, so we'll pop both of those through. There we go. Sorry, this might bump the camera a little bit. It's more movement in the big machine. Alrighty, so there's our little flowers. How cute are they? There we go. And there's our beautiful large ones. They turned out really well. I love the colours. The colours turned out really well on that one. Okay. All right, we'll pop the dies back in the die packet so we don't lose them. here's where we are up to. Now, I haven't stuck any of these layers yet until I am decided on all of the different elements. So this is what I like to do. I like to get everything all lined up first before I make any final decisions on anything. Okay, so that's pretty good there, like that. Then I've got the extra little ones. I thought maybe I might add the extra little ones in the front there. That'll fill it out a little bit. I'm going to pop them all up on dimensionals anyway. And then with the wheat, I was going to pop that in the back there to fill that in. However, I'm not sure what color. So maybe I should just do it in, let's see, I might try a crumb cake and see if the crumb cake looks any good behind that. If anyone has any suggestions, then, oh, you think it's lavender, not wheat? You think it looks like lavender rose? Maybe. I don't know. I guess it could be either, couldn't it? Sharon says she's been sorting all her new colours today and she's about to sit down and craft with them tonight. Oh, that's exciting. That's so cool, Sharon. Yeah, I sorted all my colours out last night. I was saying at the beginning of my video today, I was up till the wee hours this morning sorting all my ink, my stamp pads, and putting all the labels on and organising all the colours and doing all the cardstock and making little swatches. So I've made all my little swatches today, well, early hours of today. So yes, I was doing that this morning too. Lots of fun, lots of fun. All right, so I'm going to grab out some, let me get some colours. Let's see, so we've got some crumb cake. Crumb cake might go. What about some of the Mossy Meadow, maybe? Let's see. Mossy Meadow, maybe. Oh, it might be. It might help to bring in the stems. Sorry, my voice probably sounds different because I'm actually standing upright this minute. Let's see, is that going to fit on there? Oh, that'll fit on there. We could try that. Let's try those two first. Oh, and I might grab, I've got some more of that out. All right, let's try those two and just see how they look. So in the original project, they were die cut in green, which was the same green as the background or the main color that was being used. But because I've changed all the colors up and I'm using the Calypso, it kind of wasn't going to work. I don't know that they would look any good in Calypso, but we'll try it in the green. This is the Mossy Meadow green. And I know, Rose, that if they were lavender, they would be purple. But purple kind of doesn't go with my colour scheme. So I'm using my creative license today. And we are going with something a bit different. They could be lots of different things, I suppose, because there's lots of different flora, I suppose, that has like tall flowers like that. I mean, it could even be something like, I don't know, like snapdragons perhaps, or I think you could really turn it into lots of different things. Now, getting these out of the dies is a little bit tricky because they are a very fine detail. So if you just poke through the holes with your take your pick tool to release the cardstock from the die, that'll help you to get it out. There we go. That's releasing now, and we'll just take that out gently. Oh, I actually like it in that colour. Let's see. Before I put my Stampin' Company emboss machine away, I'll just have a little look, a quick little looky to see if this is going to work. Oops. Isn't it annoying when you're trying to line things up and things just keep moving? So frustrating when that happens, isn't it? Oh, actually, that might be okay. That might actually look okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, that was a good choice in colour. Now, do we want one or do we want two? I have another piece here. Should we cut a second one just in case? Oh, it's not long enough. We'll just go with one. We'll just go with one. Save a bit of time too. All right. There we go. Alrighty. Now you'll notice that I haven't done my usual inking or anything on this card today. I thought today, you know, because I love distressing. I love ink distressing. I love all different types of distressing. And I usually do distressing on most of my projects, but I thought today I'll just keep everything clean and simple, and we won't do any distressing today. So what do you think? Are you shocked? Mandy's creating a card without distressing. I don't do distressing on every single project, but I do it a lot because I do love it. All right, we're going to start adhering some of these layers because they just keep moving around on me and they're annoying me, and we need to get them stuck in place. And sometimes I'm undecided about ribbons, so sometimes I don't adhere my layers straight away if I'm intending on adding ribbons and things like that, but I'm going to add ribbons to some of the either the front or the layer this time, rather than, you know, wrapping it as I would normally. So no wrapping on these layers today. Doesn't that make a great sound? Got to have a bit of fun with it, haven't you? All right, so now we'll just line this up in the middle, and I'm just using my eye, so hopefully I'm getting it reasonably close to the center. That looks not too bad, but without measuring, yeah, that's not too bad. All right, there we go. Okay, and now we have to decide on these layers here. So I don't want to adhere this layer yet until I've decided about the sentiment, but I'm just deciding if I want that extra little bunch of flowers or not. So let's just see. We'll add that and that. So that looks nice. I might just put that up a little bit higher, bring that down a little bit. Okay, that looks nice. In fact, I might adhere those together and then we can pop them up on dimensionals. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on these pieces here, and I shouldn't do it over my project just in case. All right, so we'll add a little bit of glue. If we can get our glue flowing. Come on, glue. It's a new bottle, so, well, fairly new, so it should be all good. And we're just going to add some to the center part because it's going to overhang at the top and the bottom. So we don't want to add it in spots where we don't, where it's not going to sit behind the flowers sort of thing. All right, and now we'll add the flowers over the top of that. Just move them up a little bit higher. There, that's good like that. Hey Athena, how you going? Oh, you just finished work, did you? Good on you. There we go. Good. All right. And now, so then that's going to go down there like that, and we'll pop that up on dimensionals. But I just need to decide about the, oh, actually, you know what, before I do that, I think I'm going to use some linen trim today. Just finding my linen trim. I've got a few rolls in here because when you order the linen thread, you do just get one spool of it, but I've got lots of different spools that I have started at different times and not finished a complete spool and then bought another one, and I end up with multiples in the packet, but you actually only get one spool when you order it. So yeah, so don't get confused by that. Yeah, I might do that, and then I think I'm going to add the sentiment over the top. I was going to add the sentiment onto this layer here, but the sentiment I want to use is a little bit bigger. So I think I'm going to add that on top. And we might wrap some twine around this layer. Some thread, sorry, some linen thread. We might wrap that around. Or should I wrap it around the... Maybe I should wrap it around here. Let's have a look and see. Just going to wrap it around the layer, or do we wrap it around the flower stems? Might look nice around the flower stems, perhaps. Let's see. I'll tie this, see how this looks. Tie a little bow. And we'll just have a look and see if we like this or not. I only want a little bow because it's a little bunch of flowers. We don't want to overtake the flowers with the size of the bow. And my bow's not in the middle. I'll wriggle that over a little bit. What do we think? Maybe. This white is very white, isn't it? It's very, very white. I'm just wondering, do I need to dampen down that white a little bit? It looks very stark white compared to the rest of the colours. You know what I might try? I might try something I did the other day on a different project, using my Calypso Coral ink. Oops, just get that out of there. And I might put a bit of Calypso Coral ink on this panel here, just to take away from the white a bit, but not add too much colour, just to make it a little bit lighter. I could put that. No, I don't think I want that one in there as well. I don't know about those little ones. I don't know about the twine there. What do you think? I think the little ones take away from the big one. I don't think I like the twine on there. I think I'm not liking that twine. Would vellum work? Oh, that's a good idea too. Vellum could be good too. Let me try this first. We'll see how this looks, and then if this looks terrible, then I might go with the vellum, the vellum idea. All right, so we don't want to go too heavy with the Calypso Coral, so I'll just ink up my blending brush. Oh, see, it's very, very dark, but I only want a little light bit of colour, just to take away from that really stark white. And it doesn't have to be super even either. I'll just go a little bit darker around those edges. Okay, so I'm just stressing now, guys. Rightio. I couldn't do a project without it. Oh, no, that's okay. No worries, Deborah. All good. All good. There we go. All right, so let's see how that... Oh, that's better. That's not as stark white now. Yes. Okay, that fixed that problem. So see how I took most of the ink off on my scrap paper first and then just added a light dusting of the colour on the cardstock. So you could probably even go a little bit deeper, but I don't want to go, you don't want to go too heavy, you don't want to go too crazy, but let's just add a little bit more. Just a little bit more. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah. That's better. It's not as stark white. It just adds a little bit of colour, and it just it helps to tone down that white, so it's not as bright, but it also brings together those other colours. All right, so now I want to decide on this one here, whether or not to include that little bunch down towards the bottom. Looks okay. It doesn't look as good up near the middle, but down towards the bottom I think it looks a bit better. What do you reckon? Oh, hi Teresa, how you going? Lovely to have you with us. Alrighty, so there we go. And now we need to decide about the sentiment. If we're going to do that one, or do we just do the thank you and just stamp that straight on onto here? If you wanted just the thank you, you could stamp the thank you straight onto that label there. Or do we want this bigger sentiment, which I really like, and we can have that overlap? I think I like that. I think I want to stamp that one. All right. I'll put my thank you back. And I'll stamp that in the black because we've got black outline of the flowers. So we'll stamp that onto a bit of basic white, and then I'm going to trim it down. Because I don't think this one fits in the label dies that came with the, no, this one's bigger. So I'll stamp this just in the middle here. There we go. Oh, I didn't stamp that very well. Again, not even pressure. What am I doing today? What is going on? Even pressure, Mandy, even pressure. I'm under pressure. Okay, that's all right. That's actually not really deep. That's not really dark, is it? All right, let's try again. So it's which one is the the best of a bad bunch? It's this stamp set has got, sorry, this sentiment has got very fine text, and so when you get a stamp with very fine text, you have to sort of stamp it a little bit more carefully, because otherwise if you stamp it too heavily, then you know the ink will sort of bleed, not bleed, but smudge a little bit. So yeah, all right, there we go. Okay, now let's see which one do we like better. Actually, probably the first one I stamped was probably the better one, or that one. Oh, I might use that one. All right, so we'll trim that up, and I'm just going to trim. I'm just going to trim that straight across. So I'm just going to again use my eye and kind of line up. This is what I used to do. This is going old school. So I'd work out, I'd have a look and see what the distance is here, and then I'd judge by eye the same distance here, and then just put a little pencil mark where I'm going to trim. Does anybody else do that? That's how I used to always do my sentiments. Now the majority of the time I either use a punch or a die, but that's how I used to always do it. So there we go. All right, so there's our sentiment, and now we'll need to trim up the ends, but as to whether, I think I'm going to do straight ends actually, because the label underneath it has straight ends. So I think I'm going to have straight ends on here too, and just have it as a rectangle. Because sometimes I'll banner them or something like that, but I think we'll just keep it simple today. There, that's not too bad. Oh, it's a little bit. Will I risk it? No, I'm going to leave it. I might wreck it. But getting towards the end point. We don't want to be wrecking it now. All right, so then we're going to need to add that there. And do we want to leave that white now, or it actually blends in okay. It blends in with the rest okay. And I'm going to pop that sentiment there. What do you reckon? Do you reckon I should leave it white like that, or should I add a bit of colour like I did with this one? What do you think? Meanwhile, we need to decide about the trim, the linen thread. I could tie the linen thread around there actually, couldn't I? I could tie it around there. What would it look like around this one? So today, Teresa, you have joined a live where I am winging it slightly. I have a project that I am casing, but I'm actually changing it up with the colour, the DSP, the dyes that I'm using, etc. So it's kind of not, yeah, I'm adding my own flair to it, but making a few decisions along the way. There we go. We could have a little bow like that. It's a little upside down bow actually, but that's okay. We could have that there like that at the side. And then we can have that there. I think I want those little ones down there. It just sort of fills out the base a bit, doesn't it? So we could have those there like that. And then we can have our sentiment there like that. Oh yeah, that doesn't look too shabby. You like the white so that it stands out, Deborah? Yeah, I think I do too, you know. Because we've got this coloured down here, but I think the white sentiment just makes it pop a little bit, doesn't it? If we put our little linen thread there and have that little bow, or just might move that over to the edge. All right, well, I might adhere that layer. I think I'm pretty happy with that. And then we'll pop these flowers up on dimensionals, and then we'll put the sentiment up on dimensionals as well. What do you reckon? Yes? My bow is just an upside down bow, but I wonder if I can tweak these to bring these under to the other side. Does it look weird having it upside down? I have to trim that one. That one's a little bit long. It's okay, it's a little mini bow. There we go. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to adhere that one down. So let's use a little bit of liquid glue, if the glue chooses to work for me. Come on, there we go. Good. That's better. Now it's working. Okay. Oops, put up the right way, Mandy. Okay, so we're going to go about there. Let's make sure we can fit our flowers in. They're not going to be off the top of the card. Yep. Okay, so we'll adhere this one down here. nice and straight. Should have a piece of grid paper underneath me, shouldn't I, so that I can make sure that I get that nice and straight. Put a glue dot under it to make it behave. Oh yeah, under the twine. Yes, I should do that, shouldn't I? Thanks, Deborah. Yeah. There we go. Stick. Did I not put enough glue under that side? I thought I had. Might need to sneak a little bit more glue under this edge here, because it's got the twine right there close to the edge. It's wanting to sit up, but I want it to sit down. I'll move the twine over a tad. I'll just hold that there for a moment. Hold it there for a moment. Okay. All right, so we'll get some Stampin' Dimensionals. I might use some minis, I think, today. Let's see, out of my little box. And, oh, yes, I think I'll grab a glue dot for under that twine, Deborah. That was a great idea. And we will get that twine behaving itself. So I'm just going to break a little bit of the glue dot off because they're quite large for using with the linen thread. I just sort of break it in half. So I've just got a tiny little bit there, and I'll pop that under there, and that'll also help to keep that knot from coming undone, or the bow, I should say, from coming undone. That's not too bad. That's right. I'll just trim this one up a little. Just a little. It's still going to do its own thing, but that's okay. That's all right. We'll work with that. All right. And we'll add these to our card. So now, because we've got the, where's my take a pic tool? There it is. Because we've got the large flowers there, we can put the dimensionals behind that, and that will help to hold that up. But now that we've got all of the wheat, or the whatever it is, everybody has their own interpretation of what that is. Let's just call it greenery. Yeah, we can just adhere all of that down together in one go because we've already attached it. So it's all good. So just adding lots of dimensionals there. We better add some here on the stems to support them as well so that they don't sag. And I'll just add one more in there. Actually, I wonder if I can squeeze one in up here without it being seen. Let's see. Yep, good. All right, so we've got lots of dimensionals, but that's good because we know that everything will be nice and stable and nothing's going to fall off or sag, because we don't want saggy bits. We don't like saggy bits on our cards, do we? Okay. It just takes a little bit of time to get all the backings off all of these little mini dimensionals. But with the minis, I love the fact that we can get them into smaller spaces, smaller areas, and still be able to have that dimension on our beautiful projects. Alrighty, so let's pop that down over here. I'll just have that bow going over the top there, like that. Get that down low enough so that the greenery is not going off the top of the card. There we go, and we can have our bow just sitting over the top a little bit there like that. Alrighty, great. And then this one is going to go on the top as well. And I'm just thinking, do I add an extra dimensional to that? Or do I put it at the same level as that? Might add an extra dimension to that, I think. Is it going to sit up though? Is it going to sit in the right spot is the question. Because we've got My dilemma is we've got the space here in between the stalks. So I have to, if I'm going to have these sitting on top, I have to be quite strategic. If I'm going to mount them up, I have to be quite strategic where I'm going to add the mounting foam. So if I add it there, one there, and one behind this flower here, I should hold those two up. And then if I put one behind this flower here, I think that should do it. Maybe a little bit there in that stem. I get one in there. Oh, I might cut that one. Let's grab my tape scissors, because these are the ones that can get sticky. I don't mind if these ones get sticky. These are my older pair, which have gone a little bit blunt, and I just put a little key charm on there. Oh, not a key charm, sorry, scissor charm on there. And then I keep that one specifically for all my tape and my adhesives. Put that bit there like that. Okay. There we go. So we are nearly done. We're just going to have to add the sentiment and then our bling, and we will be done. So let's add that there. Oh yeah, that looks better. That looks better mounted up. Okay, and then we can have our sentiment going. We're going to lose some of these flowers when we add our sentiment, but that's okay. All right, now because we've got 2 layers now of dimensional, because we've got 1 layer with these flowers and then a second layer on top, we're going to have to add 2 layers of dimension on this side. Okay, so let's grab, I'll use my large ones this time because then I don't have to use as many. Here's my little box of, see how I keep all of my little edge pieces as well? And I use those edge pieces for little sections when I'm mounting projects. Alrighty, so we're going to add 2 layers here and 2 layers in the center. And before I take the backing off, I'm just going to double check that. Yep, that'll be perfect. All right, good. And then we're just going to add a little bit of glue on that end part there, so that will adhere to the flowers and it won't lift up or jump around or do anything crazy. So we'll just add a little bit of glue there. This glue is just not really cooperating with me today very well, is it? There we go. Okay, so we've got 2 layers of dimensional, 2 layers of dimensional, and just a little blob of glue, because that is going to attach there too. And do we want it sitting in or off? I think we'll go off. I think we'll go off to the edge of the DSP. There we go. Like so. There we go. Pretty. And now we just add our bling. So I've pulled out all of my bling that has retired, and oh, if I can open my case, we've still got, oh, the rustic dots. Rustic metallic dots would go well. Iridescent pearls, maybe a bit too white. So, rhinestones, of course, go with everything. And then let's have a look and see what I've got in my other case. So, oh, I've got some new bling in there. Look at that. How did that get in there? We've got some iridescent rhinestones. Might throw too many colours. We do have the, oh, wait on. We've got butterflies. Okay, I think it's butterflies. As soon as I pulled them out, I'm like, yeah. I think we need butterflies in our garden. Let's do butterflies today. Haven't used the butterflies for a little while. And the good thing is they are carrying over. So, but these would also go well, especially these rustic metallic dots. They would be lovely as well. But let's use some brushed brass butterflies. Actually, let's move that packet. All right, let's add some beautiful butterflies here to our garden. I think we're going to have a large one there and a small one below it. There we go. And then we can have, oh, I think we need another large one. Another large one up here somewhere. Yep, about there. Aren't they gorgeous? I love these butterflies. And what do you think? Do we need another one? One down here. And then we'll have to have one more because we can't have an even number. We have to have an odd number. So where could we have the other one? I think they need to be up here near the flowers, don't they? We have one flying off this way, perhaps. There we go. Beautiful, done. There we go. So there is my beautiful card for today. Very little distressing, just a little bit on this layer here. So I was very restrained today with my distressing. So there you go. So I think that turned out really pretty. And remember too that those products are retiring. So the butterflies are staying and the ink colors that I used today are staying. But the Nature's Harvest is currently 60% off. The Harvest dies, which I'm trying to find and I've buried under everything. Oh, there we go. The Harvest dies. Oh my goodness. Well, they look like a mess at the moment because I've just shoved them all in. They are also 60% off. And then the Stitched Rectangles, they are 10% off. And the DSP, it is, so the Pretty Prints DSP, that's my sticky note from that, it's 30% off. So that is that gorgeous designer series paper that comes in those beautiful rich colors. So there you go. So all of those products are on special at the moment in the last chance sale. So if you love those, then be sure to check those out in the online store. And if you shop with me, you can find my online store through my blog or through my website. So mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, and click on the shop button, or you can find my shop button also through my website. And remember to use my April 2023 host code when you're shopping with me. And with orders over $75, I will send you a thank you gift. So there you go. Oh, thank you, everybody. All right, I'm going to flip the camera back up to say goodbye to you face to face, as I always like to do. So bear with me for one moment. And I've just got one last thing to remind you of. So bear with me for one moment. Here we go.
I didn't get that. Could you?
Oh, Siri. Siri was waking up. We don't want Siri right this minute. Okay, here we go. So we'll just adjust this stand. So bear with me while I get the camera ready. Tighten everything back up. Flip those cameras. There we go. We're up the right way, round the right way. We're just in the dark a little bit, so let me fix that. See if that light stays today. Felt promising today. Usually every day when I adjust my lights, that one on the right side always falls down. So it's a little bit temperamental. So there you go. So there is my beautiful card. What do you think? So remember, this was a cased project. I just changed it up a little bit and changed the dies and the colors and the butterflies and the sentiment, and I added the twine, or the linen thread, I should say. So yeah, changed it up a little bit, but it was originally Stamping with Christy. So thank you so much, Christy, for inspiring our beautiful card today. Christy, when she did hers, she used greens in the background. She also used a different embossing folder and different DSP. So, but my layout was basically the same as her layout, but just using different products. So yeah, I think it turned out quite well. I wasn't sure how those colors were going to go, but I think they went really well. I think it turned out quite well. I'm happy with that. So thank you all so much for sharing that with me, and I'm glad that you liked my card, and thank you so much for your suggestions as well. I love it when you craft with me and you help me and you interact with me. It makes it so much more fun. So hopefully you learned some new things today with my project, and if not, then hopefully you just enjoyed what I shared with you today. Thank you all so much. Oh, thank you, Mary. Mary said she loves the card, and Glenda said beautiful card. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining me, Glenda. Rose loves it as well. She gave me some hearts, and Deborah said very nice card. Thank you all so much. Thank you, everyone. That's so lovely. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Well, I hope that you have a great crafty week. Remember to check out the last chance sales while you can. There's still lots of great specials available, but things are selling out. So if there's anything that you want to get, if you had something on your wish list from the mini catalogue or the 2022 to 2023 annual catalogue, be sure to jump over and check out the last chance sales in the online store, and grab yourself some bargains too while things are on special. Now, if you have any questions or there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. Remember that those products that I used today, those retiring products and the current products, you can pop in your starter kit if you're interested in joining Stampin' Up! And getting a discount on your Stampin' Up! Products. You don't need to do classes or sell product. You can simply purchase for yourself and enjoy the discount, and enjoy our crafting community as well. We have a beautiful team, beautiful crafting community. In fact, we are catching up this Saturday night for a pajama party. So it'll be an online pajama party, but we're just going to have a fun crafting time together in our jammies. So it'll be lots of fun. We do all different sorts of things together, and we'd love to have you come and join us. So feel free to ask me any questions. Now remember too, I have got my class coming up, my Milkshake Daydream project class, and the registration's closed tomorrow. I do have limited amounts of kits for this one, so be sure to jump on that if you would like to join in this class. It is an online class. All the instructions will be sent to you in PDF form, as well as the products if you purchase the full class, and then you can do that at your own leisure, in your own time. You might want to break it up and do a project a day, or however you want to do it. And for those of you who are outside of Australia, there is an option there for you as well. So be sure to check that out. The link will be in my description of the video, so be sure to check that out. But thank you all so much for joining me. Now, Thursday morning at 11 a.m, I would normally be going live, and my Thursday lives I am moving on to YouTube. However, I won't be going live this week. I mentioned it at the beginning of the, I mentioned about going live at the beginning of the video on YouTube, but I forgot until just now that I won't be going live this week on Thursday, because our puppy has to go to the vet, and she's going to be going undergoing some medical procedures under anaesthetic, and so I will be busy with all of that happening that day. So I won't be going live on Thursday, but I will be live again back here on Facebook on Monday. So it'll be Monday afternoons on Facebook and Thursday mornings over on YouTube. Okay, so that is how I am planning to do it. I'll let you all know. I'll put notifications up on all of those things, and I will remind you that I won't be going live on Thursday too, just so nobody's looking for me and wondering where I am. But I'll let you know how Callie goes. She's just got to have some dental work done. She's got to have her hips checked, and she needs her vaccination. So they're going to do all of that while she's asleep. But I dare say we will have a very unhappy little puppy when she wakes up. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a great week, and a great weekend next weekend as well. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. So happy crafting, everyone. Take care. Bye.